It appears that it's working. Everybody keep your fingers crossed for it.
Do you have to do something to turn
I see us up there. We're there.
the screen
We're
off?
kind of frozen now. No, we're moving.
We're moving again.
Yeah.
We're live? We're good?
Because you gotta be.
Well, we can get rolling then. Welcome everyone to the Lincolnville Select Board meeting. It is the 26th of June. Apologies for the slight delay closing up that last executive session. Before we get going, Mike, would you care to read the short of the evening?
Sure. Don't ever slam a door. You might want to get back.
Thank you.
Unknown, anonymous. Yes.
And I'd like to open the podium for any non-agenda items. Seeing no one rushing up to the podium, let's move along to the administrator's report.
I'm woefully unprepared, and we'll just go with what's on the agenda.
All right, sounds good. Moving along then, let's address the upcoming meetings and announcements.
The Lakes and Ponds Committee meets Tuesday, June 27th, 6 p.m. here at the town office. That meeting will also be a hybrid meeting because one of their members is unable to attend in person. The Planning Board meets Wednesday, June 28th, 7 p.m. A meeting that's not on the agenda. The Board of Appeals will meet on Thursday, June 29th at 5:15 p.m. here at the town office. The Comprehensive Plan Review Committee is scheduled to meet Thursday, June 29th, 6:30 here at the office. Lincolnville Central School Committee is scheduled to meet Monday, July 3rd, 6 p.m. at the Lincolnville Central School. Town office will be closed on Tuesday, July 4th in observance of Independence Day. And the Select Board meets next on Monday, July 10th, 6 p.m.
Thank you very much. Any questions for David?
Back to the administrator's report, nothing other than I noticed that our group that we employ to do the mowing of town infrastructure has not got the fire department, and it's looking pretty tall, and I'm wondering if the rest of our properties look the same.
No, yes. Depends. I think they've been a victim of the weather more than anything else. Here's better. The Penobscot Park, they were there on Monday last week and mowed in between rain showers. But the fire department certainly looked shaggy over the weekend.
Okay. Thank you, David.
Yep. And while we're on administrator's report, our contractor is here making repairs to the back wall of the sand and salt building.
Oh, great.
Got that pulled back in and replacing actually the wall is now replaced, but they have to put the skin on the outside and the backside. So.
That's good news.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
And the Winter Road maintenance contractor is prepared to put up sand as soon as that's done and we have salt available. So winter's coming, people. Be
Stop.
prepared.
Winter's still here. Let's see. Okay, are there any upcoming community events anyone wishes to share?
Well, this Saturday, the Strawberry Festival is
Oh,
going on.
thank you. Yeah.
So at sometime in the morning. They start 10, 9?
Parade starts at 10.
10, okay, yep. And right down Main Street. And I heard a rumor that there's going to be a new, heretofore unknown float in the parade.
Ooh.
Blink your eyes and you lose it, of course.
All right.
Yeah.
Good deal. Thanks for sharing that.
Yep,
What's the date of that?
the 8th.
The 8th.
This week.
Okay. Moving along, we have 3 sets of meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion for the first set, please.
I move the board approve the June 12, 2023 meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you very much. And the 15th, please.
I move the board approve the June 15th, 2023 meeting minutes as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor? Thank you all very much. And finally, the 20th.
I move the board approve the June 20th, 2023 meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you all very much. And we have, yes.
I was going to say, we might also announce that the new members absent, who that
Oh,
is.
didn't, oh, I forgot to do that before we were live on camera. Yes, we would welcome our newest select board member, but she has been excused for tonight. To be welcomed at a later date. So we have Scott Browning here tonight to talk to us about smoking at Breezemere Park.
Yeah, good evening. Well, thank you all for your service to our town as a select board. Appreciate it. My name is Scott Browning, resident at 221 Main Street. I have two young daughters, 5 years old, 2.5 years old. We are very grateful for Breezemere Park and the lovely Norton Pond that we have close to our house that we get to partake in. One thing I've noticed since living where we do and going down to the park on a frequent basis in the summertime is that on the summertime days, there's a number of individuals that feel like they can smoke in the park, mostly cigarettes, on occasion marijuana. And it's becoming concerning to me as a father. I know that the town in 2017 made the smoke-free parks and recreation policy, which said that residents will enjoy a smoke-free recreation in the park and park areas and facilities owned by and managed by the town of Lincolnville. The primary purpose of the new policy is to protect children from the potential dangers of secondhand smoke while at play in the town parks. I've spoken to the individuals when I see it happening, when I feel that I'm comfortable to do so. My wife prefers I don't do it when the children are with me because I haven't gotten the best response. And they're not always residents of Lincolnville. I want to say that. Like it's particularly the really hot days that people from surrounding towns come down to Norton Pond because we have such a lovely park. And they're smoking. So I've approached them. I've said, excuse me, just so you know, there is no smoking in our parks here in Lincolnville. And I point to the sign, which is a hand painted sign. And the response that I've gotten a few times has been, who made that rule? Like, there's a sign, a hand painted sign, not a big deal. Who are people to tell people we can't smoke here? So it's a town ordinance. And so the conversation goes on from there. So I'm coming to the board to just ask for help in finding a solution. I emailed David a while back as the summer was starting to approach. I was jogging by the pond and I smelled someone smoking down there. Oh yeah, remember this issue from the other summer. I want to mention it and see what we can do to solve it. And I asked David, what solutions do we have? And he candidly responded, well, our toolbox is pretty empty, if not all the way empty. There aren't many, things that we can do to stop people from smoking. I did ask what it would take to add it to the sheriff's office list. I mean, I don't know if they even have the time to respond to me calling and saying, hey, someone's smoking in the park, can you do something about it? So I don't know if that's really the best solution. I don't know whether it's more signs posted on the other board, maybe on the entrance when you come into the park, maybe up by the gazebo as well. But I'm just coming to you to say, what can we do as a community to make sure that park is smoke-free? I don't know if we have the same issue at the beach as well. I don't get down there as much as I do. But
Yeah, Kern, and then I'll get, yep, yeah.
I'll go first.
I'll go first, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go
Yeah,
for
well,
it.
thank you. Well, I was just curious, and is there a difference between in our town, between a policy and an ordinance?
Absolutely.
What is it?
Policies are adopted by the select board, don't have the full
Okay,
weight of law. An ordinance is a local law. Most ordinances can only be adopted by town meeting.
okay, so
Okay, that's helpful. Thank
the
you.
ordinance can be enforced, or it's enforceable, policies are not.
Uh,
Well, I don't know, are they? But that's my question.
It depends. This conversation has come up, I'll use fireworks as an example, of passing a fireworks ordinance, and then it always comes back to who's going to enforce it.
Sure.
But yeah, so currently we have a policy that there's no smoking on
Yeah,
our public spaces.
We have a lot of policies and they get enforced within reason to the best of our ability. I mean, we have a policy about using this space. You know, if somebody came in and said, I want to have a birthday party in the meeting room, I'd say, well, the select board has set a policy that says, you know, no, sorry, can't do it.
Okay, so practically we can say it's a distinction without a difference or vice versa. Because there isn't,
Right, I mean, if
neither
we-
are enforceable.
no,
Not necessarily.
they're all enforceable if you want to go sit down at the park and chase
Well, I'm
people
not
away.
talking about practical.
Yeah.
But in
In a
ordinance,
practical world.
say if we had an ordinance regarding smoking, then there could be a conversation, correct me if I'm wrong, that we could contract with the sheriff's office
Mhm.
to help us enforce the
That's
ordinance,
what I'm getting at.
which
Can
our
we-
legislative body would have to adopt.
That's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. Can the sheriff's office, even if we did want to contract the entity, would they be able to do anything based on it being a policy and not an ordinance? I guess that's my question.
I think if you contracted with them, depending on what you put in the contract, they'd be willing to, you know,
Okay.
enforce it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thanks.
Karen, your question.
So how many hand-painted signs do you observe down there? And I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed to ask that question, being a leader of the town. But I haven't been down there in a little while, so I don't know how many of those signs are actually there.
Right, so there's, right by the porta potty, there's a large sign that lists kind of the rules for the park.
Yeah.
And on it is on one of the lists of the items is smoking, among other things. The other thing that I want to add is that, I don't know when it appeared, sometime I think last summer, there's actually a vestibule to dispose of cigarettes over by the grills now. So it almost looks like it's a smoking area. I know that probably the goal of that was to get cigarette butts off the ground, but I don't know.
I think that's been there quite frequently. I don't know the answer to that,
Yeah.
where it came from.
So my personal opinion is it's going to be tough to enforce anything there unless we've got a little bit more on paper and possibly a relationship with a local law enforcement if we want to take it that far. My preliminary thought was to be, I do not agree with a smoking receptacle there to dispose of cigarettes, and that needs to go like mad. Because that, in my mind, promotes it. But I feel that if we had more signage down there, although a couple of years ago, I'm the one that said, we don't have anything positive down here. Everything says no this, no that, no this,
Yeah.
no that. You pull into this place to launch a boat, have a picnic possibly, and what can we do? You know what I mean? So, but I do agree that this is something that we just cannot tolerate down there. So if I may recommend, we start with basic signage, official signage, not a handwritten thing or something that looks like a hand-printed or hand-painted thing. We could make some decisions as to some strategic locations. You know, there's a lot of pictures being taken down there too, especially of the gazebo, so I'm not sure we want to put one on every corner and all of that.
Agreed.
But if we could get the message that no smoking, you know, and then go from there. And our public participation in reminding people is a huge piece, I think, to control that.
Agreed.
I understand why your wife doesn't want you to do it in front of your kids.
Yeah.
My wife says the same thing to me. And I get it. But if we have more and more people saying, hey, you know something, could you please not do that here? And I certainly would have no problem speaking to somebody if I was there when that happened. But I think signage to start with,
Yeah.
official signage, not like you say, you know, something in a list. I think it needs to be specifically targeted. And that's only my opinion, but I think we need to start there.
I wonder, you know, I mean, certainly it would benefit us to go down and look and see what we've got going on right now, but, you know, having one of those sort of temporary vinyl signs that we could even like tie up in the tree or tie to the gazebo that for a period of time that says, this is a smoke-free facility, you know? If you have questions, call
Yeah.
Karen. But no, but you know, something like that so that it's, you know, it's sort of, it's not a permanent placard, but it, you know, if it ever becomes summer, that it's this real blunt visual thing where, no, we actually mean it.
I agree.
But I do at the same time, my curiosity around what the sheriff's office could potentially do for us and the dollar signs attached to that. I mean, I appreciate your willingness to speak to people, and it puts you definitely in a difficult situation. And so we have to find that middle ground between impressing upon our visitors that we actually mean it.
One more thing, well, two more things, I guess. One is that maybe one of the ways to get the word out in addition to signing is we have a member of the press right here, Ed O'Brien's. So
Yeah.
we might want to maybe try to promote it that way, that this is a non-smoking
As a
campus. You know,
reminder,
yeah, to get the word out that way. The second thing, Scott, I mean, have you had any ideas as you're walking away, muttering or whatnot, however you deal with it? That, man, if only this were to be done, it might be a better situation. You had any ideas on this?
I've definitely thought on it. I think signs is the place to start, just a few more signs. I don't want to poster the whole park with no signs. I think that's a great point. We have signs at school that we've gotten through the Penn Bay Wise tobacco program. Dr. Becky Buber secured them for us. That's the green signs that have no signs through the. There's one over a vape, one over a cigarette, one over a pot leaf. Says smoke-free campus or smoke-free environment. I think just a couple of those around. One over by the boat launch, one over by the swimming area, maybe one somewhere by the gazebo. I think that's a good place to start. And I appreciate the willingness to look at the law enforcement side. But I don't know if that's a solution. They've got lots of things they're dealing with, and room smoking is not.
Yeah.
But it does give them the ability that, if someone's coming through, and I don't know if state police enforce those or as well, or if it's just Waldo County, but we have a number of local law enforcement folks that go by the park, then maybe that would just even be enough to deter people.
I was just going to say, there's a variety of associations that are focused on the whole smoke-free campus, smoke-free parks, etc. Finding some signage which has a common theme, etc., not homegrown, that we could inexpensively purchase and put up, I think would be the best approach.
Yeah.
It would be nice. That's a good idea. Duplicate that at the park down on.
It should be,
Breezemere,
yep, in all our
Breezemere,
public areas, yeah.
etc. And
Yep.
then, I'm not opposed to finding out what the sheriff's department's willing to do there, but I've been paying attention to the scanner and stuff for them.
Yeah.
They close out so many calls without ever doing anything because they just don't
Yeah,
have the time.
Yep.
The personnel.
Yeah.
So I doubt
yeah,
it ever come.
yeah, it would be hard to have that be high on the list, but you never, if they happen to be driving by. But yeah, I think it's hard because we definitely find that people become sign blind. But it could be a situation where we just reorganize things, and so that in and of itself becomes more visually stimulating and could make an impact.
Yeah, we were down there last summer and my wife was not afraid to tell it. She's like, see all the kids around, they don't need your smoke.
Yeah.
They
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you very much for
Yeah, thanks.
coming before us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah, we really appreciate you
I appreciate
letting
your
us know
attention to
this
it.
is an issue. Yeah, thanks.
So
And we'll stay in touch.
just for me to summarize, get rid of this, and somebody tell me if it's not correct.
Get
Get
rid
rid of the
the
smoking
receptacle,
receptacle.
Thanks, Scott.
See what
Thank
we
you.
have for signage we can obtain from one of these, because this originally came to us from, I think it was the hospital, somebody from the
Yep.
hospital doing a wellness thing in the
Yep.
community. And then reach out to our friends in the media to see if we can
Yeah,
increase public awareness.
yeah, do a little press release.
Now, he mentioned something with the YMCA, they run a program to do things like
It
that.
may be a similar program through.
Yeah. It might have been a partnership
Knox-
between
yeah,
the,
Knox County, so-
Yeah.
and just,
Yeah.
maybe through the hospital.
Yeah.
I think they're all similar.
Well,
I think they're all
the
linked.
reason that I say that, and probably where I'm going with this, is they have a lot to do with our school in the summertime,
Yep.
the summer camp.
Yep.
And they also use the Bridgman Park, so
Yep.
maybe they could help us out there, that would be great.
Yeah, great suggestions. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you all.
Yeah,
Thank
have a
you.
great evening.
You as well.
Let's see, we have 5 minutes before our public hearing for the Lobster Pound.
I can dispose of number 10 in 5 minutes if you'd like. Or if you want that.
Mine may take, are they, let's see, I'm trying to remember if there's multiple motions.
there are.
Yeah, let's go in chronological order and see if we can tackle agenda item number 9, which is a request for extension of license privileges for the Cellar Door Winery. There are multiple dates there. Her paperwork seems pretty comprehensive. I know that she's been through the ringer in terms of neighborhood issues and problems and seems to have good plans for stemming them all off, so I'm not opposed to entertaining a motion for this.
I move that the board approve and sign the request for extension of license privileges for an on-premise establishment as submitted by the Cellar Door Winery for the dates of July 13th and July 27th, and August 10th and August 27th, between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion?
She's there.
Hi, Bettina. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
I was trying to Zoom and there isn't a Zoom, so I zoomed down 52 and I'm glad we didn't have a release on the road.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Thanks. And we still have 4 minutes, so Mike.
Oh, number 10, yeah, it says, if you look at number 10, okay, what this is kind of jumping the gun or being too late, however you want to think about it, because I wanted to get this on the agenda back in first part of June, but we had abbreviated meetings, town meetings, et cetera, wasn't able to do it. And now it's kind of a moot point in that we can't, if we wanted to submit a letter of support to start the MCOG process, if we wanted to, in time. So we have till fall if we want to do this. So, but still there, I talked with the Waller County planner, Adi Filson, who's willing to come and talk to us at some point during the summer. If you'd like more information on this process.
Well, this is essentially just to write a letter of support for their efforts.
That's all it is, yes. Yeah, it's not committing the town in any way. It's just saying we support you, state, giving them money, and then they can help towns like ourselves. And then do that. And what they would do was kind of describe that scope of work.
Yep.
And that's stage 2. To get a larger grant, the can't remember the name of the grant, to get a larger grant perhaps for various projects that the town might want to do. But like I said, the deadline's passed. She's willing to come talk to us. She can fill us in on a lot of stuff that I certainly can't.
I would love that. I'm very interested in an update from them and see how it's going. And
It sounds like actually a pretty cool program, and a lot of the towns in Waller County are doing that. And there's a chance for collaboration if that's something the town wanted to do.
I mean, I'm definitely not opposed at, say, encouraging you to write a letter on our behalf for support, but I think.
Oh, no, I'm not.
I think it'd be really cool to check in.
No, and they don't need a letter from us because
At this
the deadline's
point.
passed. So, yeah, but maybe it's something we might, next deadline's in the fall sometime. So
Okay.
we might want to pursue this and see what happens with it.
Do you want to reach out to them and see when
I
would be a
already
good
have,
time?
I already have, yeah.
And
And
get them on
she's looking
the
at
agenda.
July, but,
Okay,
yeah. If you think July is a good time,
sure,
yeah, yeah.
why not? Nice quiet period of time.
Actually, there is a second thing on this, but I don't know if we have time for it.
We do.
Okay, there's also the Mid-Coast Council of Governments General Assembly is happening next week, and they need 2 representatives from each town
Okay,
and appointed by the boards. They have to be elected and/or appointed representatives to boards of the town.
okay.
Yeah, and I've been to one of them before, just kind of sitting in before we became members, and I'm willing to do it again if somebody wants to go with me.
I think that would be great.
It's down in Rockland on 2
Thursday.
days, Wednesday morning, I think.
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday, yeah.
It'd be great. I definitely can't go that day, but,
I am booked tight.
I'll let you know what happened.
okay, that sounds great. Yeah, that would be very welcome.
How long is she out for? Is she
I don't know.
away?
This week.
Yeah, so that's,
Okay.
alrighty, well, thanks for that, Mike.
Sure.
Do you,
I mean,
do you think the board should appoint you to that?
I don't know, all I
Just to
got was
clear
a note from Matt Eddy said, if the board does appoint somebody, you might want to give me a call. They're pretty loose in this.
I think
I don't know.
in the
I think
past,
they'd let me in the door.
before it was McCog,
Yeah.
when it was McEd,
yeah,
we did have actually, we had a couple appointed
Just-
representatives,
just
so.
to be clean, why don't I make
If
a
you
motion?
want to appoint me,
Make a motion
you got
to
35 seconds, I'll take it.
appoint Mike Ray as Lincolnville's representative to attend the Mid-Coast Council of Governments Annual General Assembly Business Meeting.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded, discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Abstain.
And 1 abstention. Thank you for volunteering, Mike.
Thank you.
And jumping back to agenda item number 8, it is 6:30, and so I will please entertain a first motion.
I move to open the public hearing concerning the special amusement permit application filed by the Lobster Pound Restaurants.
So moved
Second.
and seconded. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you. The public hearing is now open for the hordes of public wishing to comment. Having heard the public before this public hearing, I will entertain a second motion, please.
I move the board close the public hearing.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you all very much. And a third motion, please.
I move that after having held a public hearing, that the board finds that the application submitted by the Lobster Pound Restaurant complies with the standards set forth in the ordinance governing the issuance, suspension, and revocation of special amusement permits for the town of Lincolnville, and the permit be granted.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion.
Yeah, just one minor point. I don't know, I'm looking at the application, or, the ordinance, I guess, and it mentions that, we'll give a page number, and that we might need a written commitment from the licensee about amplified outdoor music. Do we need that ahead of time? If you're looking on, oh geez, I don't know, section B, number 3, but there's no page number, so.
I guess I was wrongly assumed that this was,
Written commitment for the licensee.
Yeah, it says, "Will cease further outdoor use of amplified music until municipal officers had an opportunity to evaluate these things." I don't know if we need that or not. Or if the application itself qualifies
well, that
as
was,
that.
that was my
Yeah.
take on it, that application
It's in the application.
served as
Yeah.
that,
Okay,
yeah.
I've never seen one of these before, so I just didn't know. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way I always have read it. Is there anything else? Okay. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor? Thank you all very much. Thank you for,
Thanks a lot.
thanks for attending.
Can you stay a little longer?
It's gonna get fun. All right, moving along, we are back to agenda item number 11. And seeing as how the list that we have before us, all of the individuals have expressed interest in being reappointed, and that doesn't leave any open seats necessarily for new appointments, and so I would recommend making the first motion.
I move that the board appoint the committee members requesting reappointment to the positions and terms set forth on the expiring committee terms list dated June 23rd, 2023.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor?
Oh, well, you could get done with this first, yep.
All right, and your point.
Whoever put the list together, me, failed to put the ambulance service,
Oh, thank you, I have a
reappointments on that.
note on that also. Ambulance, the EMS
The
review
EMS
committee,
remove
as
and
well as Midcoast
Midcoast
Solid
Solid
Waste.
Waste.
Well, seeing as how we have voted on this list, is the board willing to entertain 2 additional motions for appointments for Midcoast Solid Waste and then separately for the EMS Review Committee?
Yeah.
I didn't even reach out to the EMS Review Committee members, Lately and Steve, to see if they wanted to continue either.
Well, let's see, I'll tackle, let's see, I will make a motion to reappoint Kern Late, and I'm gonna throw Steve under the bus and appoint Selectman Steve Hand to the Midcoast Solid Waste Board of Directors.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. You okay with being totally?
I'm not
sandbagged?
signed.
Do we have to have term expiration date in there?
Midcoast Solid Waste, your term's not up. So you don't even need to do you.
Oh, it's
Kern.
just new appointments.
It's just
So,
Selectman Garrettson's term has ended,
okay, so I'll amend that.
and it would be it's a 3-year appointment.
So I'll amend that to appoint Steve Hand to the Midcoast Solid Waste Board of Directors to fill the vacant position. No, you're in it always.
Now that I brought
Alright.
this up, should I go check?
I thought it said,
Let's just
yeah.
be
Okay.
sure.
Be what? And go grab.
Safe and sure, yeah.
Sorry.
We need a, like.
We're gonna take a brief pause. The music will play in 5 seconds.
Oh, I even had a note for those 2 things. I was like, gotta remember to do those. Might as well do it right.
Typically in the evening or in the morning?
Yeah, usually we need to elect a new chair and then decide when the meeting's gonna be and how frequent. And that meeting is 7, which is late, or 6:30. It bounces, so when they do it quarterly, it's usually the 24th of the month, the 3rd month, usually the 24th.
It's a varying day.
Uh,
It's a varying day.
Usually Thursday. Or in that vicinity, but it's usually a Thursday.
He was tearing through piles of papers on his desk.
It probably is. Oh, without a doubt.
The last time I saw his desk they weren't piled, they were mountains of papers.
He's doing very well.
Oh, is it good?
It's now on the floor. Moving it doesn't count.
I'm surprised one of the girls in the office doesn't take charge.
Jody did when he was out.
Oh, I bet.
He was not happy. It was a good finding. He said his own violence.
Yeah.
Pretty happy.
Just trying to provide some music.
What's the schedule?
Sorry, I went home for dinner too. Karen, your turn in it says, and as Josh said, when we elect on his.
You'll be 50 on that.
Sorry.
Go back to the original motion.
Yeah, okay.
Back to the original motion.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, what did I miss? What did you say?
I went home for dinner. No, Karen's term did end, or does end at the end of June, and Josh had one more year left on his term.
Okay, so we have a couple of I'm going to withdraw both of the motions that I made, and I'm going to make a new motion to appoint Kern Late and Steve Hand to the Midcoast Solid Waste Board of Directors.
I'll second that.
Who's getting which term?
You might want to put Steve in Josh's slot and Kern to continue on in the new slot. I don't know how
Yes.
that goes.
Yeah,
Okay.
does that work?
Yep.
So moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Should I vote for myself?
You can. There's nothing that prevents you from doing it. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. And then would someone make a motion for the EMS Review Committee?
I move to appoint Lately Dunn and Dave, not kidding, no, Steve Mann to the EMS committee.
Okay, so moved,
I will second that.
seconded, discussion,
You gonna be
seeing
okay with that? That's two committees.
if the EMS Review Committee ever
Yeah,
meets ever again.
We have one meaningful meeting in a year.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, all those in favor? Thank you. All right, thanks for reminding me. I wrote it in big letters across the page and I still didn't. So we do have an individual who expressed interest in serving on the Heart and Soul team. I was hoping they would be here so we could get to know them. So I'm just gonna skip over that one for the time being and also address the number of community interest forms that we've received for the Land Use Committee, which I think is fantastic. I really appreciate all of these individuals expressing interest in serving. But I agree that it is imperative for the board to create a draft charge. So I think we should put that on our next agenda. and pursue that and then loop back with these individuals who have expressed interest so that everyone has a clear roadmap that we're all working together on.
I agree.
And this individual, we can always just put her on the next agenda
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Um,
Also to that point, I was hoping when we do draft a charge, we can't change, of course, words, language in the charter, but we look at those two references to the land use committee and the charter. And the language, the operative language, I guess, that the land use committee has vis-a-vis the planning board, et cetera. Hope we look at that.
Yeah, and so does it make sense for us to try to have some kind of workshop with the planning board and code enforcement officer to talk about this? Or do we want to have at least an initial conversation on the board and then go from there?
My opinion is a workshop would be necessary down the road. We haven't done this. The land use committee hasn't been up and running in so many years. Maybe a refresher course in the form of a workshop would be a good thing.
I don't think we can put together a sufficient charge without bringing them to the table.
Yeah, on one hand, it's like, well, we could put what our priorities might be, but then input from them. So I guess I'm inclined, if we have an initial conversation and try to assemble what our initial priorities might be and have that draft available for a workshop subsequently. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
To me, yeah.
All right, we'll go with that. All right, let's move along to agenda item number 12 then, if there's no opposition. We have a number of policies to adopt, renew, amend, or rescind, beginning with the rules of procedure for the Board of Selectmen. And I will entertain a motion.
I move that the Select Board of Selectmen adopt the proposed rules of procedure, Lincolnville Select Board for the coming fiscal year.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. I guess it should be noted that within these changes that are presented to us is incorporating gender neutral language so that is now folded in. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you very much. Next, we have the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for employee wages and benefits.
I move the Select Board approve the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for employee wages and benefits dated June 26, 2023.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you very much. We have the policy on treasurer disbursement warrant of state fees and revenues.
I move that the board approve the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for municipal education costs dated June 26, 2023. Did I skip one?
Where did
You
you?
skipped
Yeah.
a bunch.
I moved that the board
Wait, we're
approve
way up the page.
that the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for sending revenue collected on behalf of the state to the appropriate state agency dated June 26, 2023.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you very much. And Steve.
I also move that the board approve the policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for municipal education costs dated June 26, 2023.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you very much. And moving rapidly along, we have a list of municipal officials who hold a variety of different titles. I recommend that motion be made.
I move that the board appoint the individuals listed to the position shown on the sheet entitled Town Official Appointment Papers and dated June 26, 2023.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you very much. And moving rapidly along, we have the assessor's agent for fiscal year 2024 contract in front of you. I will entertain a motion.
I move that the board approve and authorize the town administrator to sign the contract for assessing services with Fort Halifax appraisals for fiscal year 2024.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you all very much. And as is our annual duty, we have a fiscal 2024 septage disposal agreement. And I'll entertain a motion.
I move that the board approve and sign the septic waste disposal facility agreement with Interstate Septic Systems, Inc. for fiscal year 2024.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? See no discussion. All those in favor? Thank you all very much. And as Josh is no longer with us, we have a vacancy on the Waldo County Budget Committee. And I believe that our newest select board member, Robin, would be an excellent candidate for that.
I definitely agree, yeah.
So I move that the board appoint Robin Tarantino to the Waldo County Budget Committee with a term ending December 31st, 2023. Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Well, yeah, just one, I guess. Do we want to wait until she's here to say no? Say yes or no? I mean, if this isn't,
We'll see how the vote goes.
yeah, okay.
Point taken. She could say no.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, no, I didn't know if it was a time sensitive thing, if we wanted to get her input on it.
Well, we can always have another
Yeah.
conversation if necessary.
Cool.
So all those in favor? Thank you very much. Woe befall the person who doesn't attend. The laughter doesn't have to be so sinister. But. And so included in your packet is the draft charge for the Athletic Infrastructure Committee. And everyone has been appointed except those that the select board is responsible for appointing. And we have 2 individuals who have expressed interest. And I think both would do well by the task. So I will entertain a first motion, please.
I move that the board appoint Peter Rollins to the Athletic Fields Infrastructure Committee as the representative of the Recreation Commission.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? And a second motion, please.
I move that the board appoint Mike Eagland to the Athletic Fields Infrastructure Committee as the stakeholder representative, and this appointment be forwarded to the school committee for concurrence as required by the charge.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you all very much. Kern, do you have an update for us?
As of right now, I do not have any update.
Okay. Mike, do you have an update?
Well, I do not either, no.
Steve?
Nope.
Nor do I. Moving along, we have the treasurer and payroll warrants to approve and sign.
I move that the board approve and sign the treasurer's and payroll warrants.
So moved
Second.
and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you all very much. And we have a final thing that we have to do tonight. We have another executive session that we have to enter into, but before we enter into executive session, I just wanted to ask our town administrator, are those really the latest meeting minutes that we have for the comprehensive plan is from April?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure, I mean, yeah, I don't know if, I don't know how many, I don't know if they've met, how many times they've met since then.
Okay. It seemed, I looked at it, I was like, we've read these before.
Oh, okay.
Might have been draft before, improved now.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
So if there's no other business to conduct in public, I will entertain a motion, please.
I move the board enter executive session pursuant to Title I MRSA Section 4056F and Title 22 MRSA Section 4306.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I'd just like to let
My name is Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Marina.
Nice to
Hi,
meet you, Kyle.
Kyle.
I'd just like to
Kyle.
let Kyle know that I don't anticipate them to be making any motion besides adjourning when they're done. But you're welcome to wait for that if you want.
Could be breaking news, you never know.
Probably not.
Unlikely in this circumstance.
Well, thank you. Yeah, as I said, my name is Kyle Marina. I work for the Republican Journal. So you'll be seeing me around.
Perfect.
In case you guys want to correct us something. But I also just wanted to ask, or confirm rather, that this will be online at some point tomorrow. Is that
It
correct?
should be online as soon as I figure out how to finalize it.
Okay.
Yes, yep.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks.
very
Have a
much.
good night.
Appreciate it.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you very much.
So
We
I've
are-
got to figure out how to end that.